We have a great relationship with the U.S., and all of a sudden they pull these shenanigans. Unacceptable.
Ford didn't hold back his remarks about threats from the U.S. to not export N95 masks to Canada. In spite of earlier remarks by the U.S. president, Ford now says 500,000 masks scheduled to be delivered to Canada will take place later this week. The medical officer of health for London Middlesex Health Unit says the manufacturing capacity in Canada is being reassigned to try and produce dedicated supplies to battle COVID-19. Dr. Chris Mackey, though, is concerned about possible shortages.
Particularly for masks, that won't be possible in time to meet the supply shortages that we have now.
Dr. Mackey says healthcare workers are treating the most ill, and having a mask can prevent them from spreading an infection to the most vulnerable.
The order by President Trump is heeded by 3M, for example, or N95 masks. That will create a very difficult situation, potentially an untenable situation in Ontario hospitals.
The head of St. Joseph's Healthcare is also concerned about PPE shortages.
Obviously, we continue to try and source other providers for the supplies that we need. The second strategy is to look at conservation of the supplies to make sure people are using them carefully and not discarding them when they could continue to use them.
Dr. Kernaham says their third strategy is saving supplies like masks that have been previously used.
There is some suggestion that we will be able to sterilize those and reuse them. And so we are keeping our masks to make sure that if the science knows that it's safe to re-sterilize them, we will have a supply that we can sterilize and put back into production.
The Ontario Nurses Association president, James Murray, an RN in London, is also sounding the alarm. We understand the need to conserve PPE, however, asking us to wear masks extended periods of time and reuse masks that are manufactured for one-time point-of-care use puts our patients at risk of cross-contamination and RNs at risk of self-contamination. Murray urges the Premier to keep up the pressure, saying registered nurses do not want to be forced to choose between caring for their patients or their personal safety. Jordan Reed, CTV News.